Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving into the world of one of America's most iconic coins, the Roosevelt Dime. From the shining silver pieces of the 1960s to the modern-clad issues of the 2000s, each year tells a story of legacy, design, and hidden value. We'll explore remarkable editions: 1965, 1981, 1983, 2002, 2008, and 2010. Each carrying secrets that collectors chase to this very day. So tighten your grip, because this isn't just small change. This is American history, stamped in silver and copper. And to begin this incredible journey through the history of the Roosevelt dime, we start where change truly began, with the 1965 edition, the coin that transformed America's silver legacy forever. This humble piece of metal, often overlooked in pocket change, has turned into a symbol of transition, rarity, and hidden fortune. The year 1965 marked a turning point in American coinage history. The United States Mint was facing a massive silver shortage, and to solve it, they made a bold decision. They removed silver from the dime's composition entirely. That year's dimes were made of a copper-nickel clad instead of 90% silver, introducing a brand new era for American currency. What makes the 1965 Roosevelt dime so fascinating is that it was the first of its kind, the first modern, non-silver dime in U.S. history. Yet, despite the change, its design continued to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man admired for his leadership and his battle against polio, symbolized through the March of Dimes campaign. On the front or obverse, the coin features a detailed portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left, with the word liberty inscribed beside him, a timeless tribute to freedom and courage. Below his chin lies the national motto "In God We Trust," and just beneath that, the year 1965, gleaming like a badge of change. On the reverse, a powerful trio stands tall, a torch, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. It's a design that perfectly captures the spirit of America during the mid-20th century. Now, here, where the magic begins. Some of these 1965 Roosevelt dimes have become extremely valuable, not just for their history but for their unexpected rarity. While most were clad coins, a few 1965 dimes were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964, a minting error that created one of the most sought-after coins in modern numismatics. Imagine holding one of these rare silver-struck 1965 dimes. It looks ordinary to the untrained eye, but to collectors, it's worth a small fortune. These pieces are proof that history can hide in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by those who pay attention. Collectors have reported examples of the 1965 silver dimes selling for astonishing amounts. Depending on the condition, these rare versions have fetched well over $7,000 to $10,000, and in pristine mint-state condition, even higher. Some verified specimens have been valued at up to $15,000, making this dime a small piece of metal with the power to change lives. Even the regular 1965 dimes, when found in high-grade mint-state condition, MS-67 or higher, can sell for impressive prices. Clean surfaces, sharp details, and perfect luster can push their value to several $100s. It all depends on how well the coin has been preserved over the decades. The absence of a mint mark on the 1965 dime also tells its own story. During that year, the U.S. Mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins to discourage hoarding. So, every 1965 dime, whether struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, appears identical, an intentional move by the government to keep coins in circulation. But today, that very decision adds another layer of mystery, because collectors must rely on clues like die characteristics, metal content, and striking details to identify where each dime may have been made. turning every coin into a puzzle piece of U.S. minting history. What truly drives the value of the 1965 Roosevelt dime, however, is its symbolism. It represents resilience, innovation, and the power of adaptation. It's a coin born in a time of change, surviving decades of use, yet still capable of astonishing discoveries even today. For new collectors, this dime serves as a gateway into the world of numismatics, an entry point into a treasure hunt that rewards patience, knowledge, and curiosity. Many have found unexpected riches simply by checking the edges of their coins for a glimmer of silver. Each time you hold a 1965 Roosevelt dime, remember that you're holding a piece of history, a coin that survived economic transition, industrial change, and government experimentation. It's more than money. It's a story cast in metal. So yes, it's valuable not just in dollars but in what it represents. The lessons of perseverance, transformation, and opportunity. But in the world of collectors, those rare silver planchet dimes remain the ultimate prize. If you're lucky enough to discover one, you could be holding a treasure worth more than $10,000, all from a coin that once cost just 10 cents. It's the kind of discovery that turns ordinary people into legends in the coin-collecting world. The 1965 Roosevelt dime reminds us all, never overlook the small things, because sometimes the smallest coin can hold the greatest value. So keep your eyes open, check every dime carefully, and remember history rewards those who pay attention. One day, your spare change might just make you a fortune. The story of the Roosevelt dime didn't stop with the silverless revolution of 1965. As America entered the 1980s, the nation's coinage began reflecting a new spirit, stronger, cleaner, and more precise. And standing tall among those years is the 1981 Roosevelt dime, a small but powerful reminder that even modern coins can carry incredible value. The 1981 Roosevelt dime was struck at the legendary Denver Mint, one of America's most consistent and precise coin-producing facilities. By this time, the U.S. Mint had mastered the copper-nickel clad composition introduced in the mid-1960s, creating coins that could endure decades of circulation while still holding their shine and detail. Unlike earlier years that faced experimentation and transition, 1981 was about refinement and reliability. Every dime struck at Denver bore the proud D Mint mark, placed neatly above the date, a symbol of craftsmanship and pride in precision. The obverse of the coin continues to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, his profile polished and proud, representing America's enduring respect for a man who led the country through some of its hardest years. The finer minting techniques of the 1980s gave Roosevelt's portrait sharper definition, his hairlines, collar, and facial details appearing clearer than ever before. On the reverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch remain steadfast, emblems of liberty, peace, and strength. But under close inspection, collectors have found that the 1981 dimes often display remarkably crisp lines and deeper strike strength, showcasing Denver's reputation for high-quality production. What makes this coin truly interesting is its rarity and high-grade mint condition. Millions were made, over 726 million, to be exact, but only a handful have survived in near-perfect state. Most circulated for years, losing their mint luster and acquiring scratches. That's why finding a flawless example today can be like striking gold. Collectors who have submitted the 1981 Roosevelt dime for grading know that perfection pays. In MS-67 or higher, these coins can fetch between $400 and $600, while the ultra-rare MS-68 examples have sold for as high as $1,200 to $1,800. For a coin that originally cost 10 cents, that's a breathtaking leap in value. This kind of premium proves one thing: condition matters. A single untouched coin kept safely in storage since the 1980s can outperform hundreds of circulated ones combined. It's why coin hunters scour rolls, collections, and even old bank bags in hopes of finding a Denver mint treasure. The D mint mark also connects this coin to one of America's most fascinating minting traditions. Denver coins have long been known for their strong strikes and consistent quality, making them a favorite among collectors who appreciate craftsmanship as much as rarity. But beyond grading and mint marks, the 1981 D Roosevelt dime carries historical weight. It represents a nation recovering from inflation, entering a new economic age and embracing progress while holding on to symbols of its past. In that sense, this dime is a bridge between eras, modest in size, mighty in meaning. For everyday people in 1981, this coin was simply pocket change. But for collectors today, it's a time capsule of American perseverance. Each scratch, each mark tells a story of decades gone by: gas lines, the Reagan era, and the rising optimism of a new decade. Among modern dimes, the Denver issues of 1981 have become a must-have for serious collectors, not just because of their value, but because they embody what collecting is all about: discovery, patience, and the thrill of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary. And let's not forget the handful of minting errors that make the 1981 D dime even more exciting. A few examples exist with off-center strikes, doubled dies, and clipped planchets, rare mistakes that can raise the price dramatically. Depending on severity, such errors can command anywhere from $500 to $2,000, transforming a small coin into a serious payday. The true charm of the 1981 D Roosevelt dime lies in its blend of common and rare, a coin that millions once spent without a thought, yet only a select few preserved in perfection. It's living proof that real value is found in the details. If you're searching through your change or inherited coin rolls, keep an eye out for that small D above the date. It might just be the mark that turns an overlooked dime into your most prized possession. The Denver Mint has produced countless coins, but few capture the balance between history, precision, and potential profit like this one. Every 1981 D dime carries a story of resilience, progress, and unexpected worth. The Denver Mint's precision in 1981 set a high standard, but just 2 years later, a new issue emerged that once again caught collectors' attention. The year was 1983, and while America was finding its economic strength, the 1983 D Roosevelt dime quietly entered circulation, a coin that would later prove that even modern issues can carry remarkable value and mystery. The 1983 D Roosevelt dime stands as one of the most intriguing coins of the early 1980s. Struck at the Denver Mint, it carries the same proud D mint mark above the date, a small symbol of American craftsmanship. Yet beneath its simple design lies a story that continues to captivate coin collectors and treasure hunters across the world. At first glance, the coin appears identical to other Roosevelt dimes. The familiar profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left on the obverse, the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust standing firm, and the year 1983 shining at the bottom. But it's what happened after minting that makes this dime so special. In 1982 and 1983, the U.S. Mint did not produce official mint sets, meaning there were no uncirculated collector sets containing these dimes. As a result, almost all 1983 D Roosevelt dimes entered public circulation. That decision created a scarcity in high-grade coins that persists to this day. Collectors now understand that finding a 1983 D dime in mint state condition is far more difficult than it seems, because nearly all of them were spent, worn, and circulated. Locating a flawless example, one that still glows with its original luster, is a real challenge. The obverse of the coin remains bold and patriotic, with Roosevelt's image sharper than ever thanks to the mint's refined die technology. On the reverse, the iconic torch of liberty burns brightly, flanked by the olive branch of peace and the oak branch of strength, a timeless symbol of America's spirit. But where this coin truly shines is in the world of numismatic rarity. While hundreds of millions were minted, pristine specimens with perfect details and untouched surfaces are almost non-existent. The few that have been graded MS-67 or higher command impressive values. In recent auctions, high-grade examples of the 1983 D Roosevelt dime have sold for $800 to $1,200, and exceptionally clean, near-perfect coins have crossed the $1,500 mark. These numbers prove that even a modern dime can turn into a collector's dream if preserved in flawless condition. Beyond standard issues, there are also rare error coins from 1983 that have stunned collectors. Off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and die clashes have appeared on a small number of 1983 D dimes. Depending on the severity of the error, values can skyrocket, some reaching $2,000 or more at auction. One particularly fascinating discovery involved a 1983 D dime struck on a cent planchet, a rare minting mistake, where the dime was accidentally made on copper instead of the intended metal blend. That single coin sold for several $1,000s, transforming a pocket piece into a numismatic legend. The absence of official mint sets for this year also adds emotional and historical depth to its story. It reminds collectors how easily a coin meant for everyday use can become scarce simply because it wasn't preserved intentionally. It's a powerful lesson in timing, luck, and attention to detail. The Denver Mint once again proved its mastery with this issue, delivering coins with strong strikes and crisp lettering. Yet, that very quality only highlights how rare uncirculated examples truly are. Most of these dimes were used, spent, and forgotten, which makes finding one in pristine state a genuine achievement. The 1983 D dime's rising value has inspired many new collectors to recheck old change jars and bank rolls. Some have pulled near-mint examples from circulation decades later, turning an overlooked 10-cent coin into hundreds of dollars in profit. For anyone entering the world of numismatics, this coin serves as a clear message. Modern doesn't mean worthless. Even in a sea of millions, condition and circumstance can create rarity, and rarity drives value. It's also a reminder that collecting is about more than money. It's about connecting to history, holding a piece of 1983 in your hand, imagining the era it lived through, from Reagan's America to the dawn of new technologies. Every 1983 D Roosevelt dime carries that legacy. It's a coin that stood the test of time, surviving decades of circulation, and still managing to surprise those who look close enough. So next time you see a dime from 1983 with that small D mark, don't let it slip by. Take a moment, examine it, and imagine the journey it's been through. Because that ordinary-looking dime might just hold a hidden value worth more than $1,500 and a story richer than gold. As we move from the resilient coins of the 1980s into the new millennium, the story of the Roosevelt dime takes on a fresh chapter. The year 2002 marked not only modern craftsmanship, but also a hidden era of low mintages, sharp detailing, and surprising collector potential. And among them, the 2002 D Roosevelt dime quietly shines as a modern treasure waiting to be discovered. The 2002 D Roosevelt dime represents a time when the United States Mint had perfected decades of technology. Struck at the Denver Mint, it proudly carries the D Mint mark above the date, a small but powerful symbol of precision and consistency. By 2002, the dime had become more than just pocket change. It was a symbol of enduring design and reliability. The composition remained copper-nickel clad, with a solid copper core, but the finish became brighter and more reflective than ever, thanks to advanced striking methods used at the Denver facility. The obverse still honors Franklin D. Roosevelt, his portrait beautifully sculpted by John R. Sinek. The details in his hair, jawline, and collar stand out sharply, proof of the mint's improved die-cutting accuracy in the early 2000s. It's a design so familiar yet so masterfully preserved that even decades later, it continues to inspire respect. On the reverse, the torch, olive branch, and oak branch continue their timeless vigil, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength that have graced this coin since 1946. But the 2002 Denver strikes often show exceptional clarity, with the torch's flame and branch veins rendered in almost proof-like quality. What makes the 2002 D-Dime special, however, isn't just its design, it's the numbers. Only about 563 million were minted, one of the lowest totals for a modern Denver dime issue in that period. That makes uncirculated and high-grade examples more desirable among collectors. In mint state condition, the 2002 D Roosevelt Dime is a beauty to behold. Sharp edges, full luster, and a satin-smooth surface can elevate its value far beyond face value. Graded examples in MS-68 have sold for $300 to $400, while the elusive MS-69 specimens, nearly perfect coins, have brought as much as $1,000 or more at auction. Even though millions were made, time has proven that condition is everything. Most 2002 D-dimes entered circulation and picked up wear and tear, but the few preserved in pristine mint rolls or sets now stand as hidden gems. Collectors also prize this coin for its strike quality, which was among the best in early 2000s minting. Denver's production that year showed remarkable consistency. Coins with full rims, clean lettering, and brilliant surfaces that reflected light like polished mirrors. Yet the true thrill of collecting this coin lies in error discoveries. A handful of 2002 D Roosevelt dimes have surfaced with fascinating mint errors, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and even double-die reverses. Depending on rarity and condition, such coins can fetch anywhere from $500 to $2,500, proving that even modern coins hold surprises. The year 2002 also marked a significant time in American culture. The country was finding strength in the aftermath of national challenges, and the mint's coins reflected a renewed pride in American resilience. Each dime struck during that year carries a quiet echo of that spirit, small in size, but heavy with meaning. For new collectors, the 2002 D-dime serves as an ideal modern starting point. It's affordable, historically meaningful, and full of potential. Searching through coin rolls or mint sets can lead to valuable discoveries, and more importantly, it builds the excitement that drives every numismatist. The Denver Mint's attention to detail shines in this coin's mirror-like luster. Each strike tells a story of perfection, of a mint facility that had spent decades mastering its craft. To hold a pristine 2002 D-dime is to hold the result of 56 years of Roosevelt dime evolution. Some collectors even predict that as time passes and fewer pristine examples remain, the 2002 D-dime could rise significantly in value. It may not carry silver, but it carries scarcity. And in coin collecting, scarcity often turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Think about it, a coin that cost just 10 cents 2 decades ago now selling for hundreds or even $1,000 in perfect grade. That's the magic of numismatics, where history and opportunity meet in the palm of your hand. The 2002 D Roosevelt dime reminds us that greatness doesn't always come from age or metal content. It comes from quality, rarity, and preservation. Those who understand this truth are the ones who find real fortune in small things. So check your change, examine your rolls, and never overlook a 2002 D dime. That small D, above the date, could be the mark of a coin worth far more than you imagine. A silent piece of American craftsmanship carrying hidden value beyond its face. As the 21st century gathered momentum, technology advanced, economies shifted, and the U.S. Mint refined its precision. But among modern coinage, one year stood out once again: 2008, a year when even an ordinary dime could tell a story of hidden worth. In 2008, the Roosevelt Dime struck at the Denver Mint carried a legacy that stretched back more than 6 decades. Though small in size, this 10-cent piece reflected America's continued dedication to craftsmanship, stability, and the enduring spirit of Franklin D. Roosevelt himself. Each dime bore the proud D Mint mark, a symbol of the Denver Mint's precision and pride. Despite being mass-produced, collectors today recognize that the 2008 D issue stands out for its incredible strike quality and sharp details that outshine many other modern releases. The obverse continued to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, his dignified profile facing left, a tribute to leadership, courage, and compassion during one of America's most trying eras. The fine contours of his face and the crisp inscription of Liberty captured a timeless elegance that still inspires numismatists today. On the reverse, the classic torch, olive branch, and oak branch design remained, a bold symbol of liberty, peace, and strength. Though unchanged in decades, each 2008 D dime carried its own story through the subtle play of light on metal, a silent reminder of the country's resilience. By 2008, most Americans considered the dime an everyday coin, pocket change barely worth noticing. Yet for sharp-eyed collectors, it was a treasure waiting to be discovered, especially those few struck with exceptional luster or near-perfect centering. The coin's composition of copper and nickel reflected the modern standard, but what truly gave it value wasn't just its metal. It was rarity, grade, and preservation. Those who tucked away pristine 2008 D dimes would later find their foresight richly rewarded. In uncirculated and proof-like condition, these coins reveal stunning detail. Under magnification, the fine ridges of Roosevelt's hair and the precise texture of the torch's flame show off the mint's remarkable skill. Every coin was a miniature work of art. Collectors soon began paying attention to die variations and striking quality. Some 2008 D dimes, struck with newer dies or under higher pressure, emerged sharper and more reflective, commanding strong premiums from those who recognized perfection when they saw it. The Denver Mint, known for producing coins meant to circulate across the West, delivered millions, yet only a small fraction remain in untouched, gem-grade condition today. And those are the coins now finding their way into graded holders and auction blocks. When graded MS-68 or higher, a 2008 D Roosevelt dime can sell for an astonishing $1,500 to $2,200, depending on strike, tunning, and demand. For a coin worth just 10 cents face value, that's an extraordinary leap in worth, proof that opportunity hides in plain sight. What makes this year even more appealing is its consistency in design but unpredictability in condition. The tiniest contact marks or dull surfaces can have a coin's value, while one preserved with perfect luster becomes a collector's dream. Some enthusiasts believe the 2008 D is among the most visually striking modern Roosevelt dimes, a perfect balance between tradition and the precision of modern minting. Its bright silver tone and flawless edges make it instantly recognizable to trained eyes. Coin shows and online marketplaces have seen renewed attention for this issue, with many collectors seeking to complete full Denver sets from the 2000s. And when they come across a top-graded 2008 D, competition often turns fierce. In today's market, rarity and condition rule. A coin that once slipped through countless hands can now command the attention of experts and investors alike, proving again that numismatics is as much about discovery as it is about history. Every 2008 D dime that survives in flawless state represents not just careful minting, but careful stewardship. People who understood that even small pieces of metal can hold great potential over time. And so, the 2008 Roosevelt Dime with its bold D stands as more than pocket change. It's a symbol of value hidden in everyday life, a reminder that greatness can emerge from the smallest corners of history. For collectors, it remains an irresistible prize, a shining reflection of America's enduring precision and artistry in coinage. The thrill of finding a perfect one never fades. Its message endures. Sometimes you don't need to look for gold to find value. Sometimes it's right there, shining back at you from a simple dime. As we step forward from 2008 into a new decade, the spirit of American minting remained unshaken. The Roosevelt dime carried its legacy into 2010, still bearing the mark of Denver's precision, but now symbolizing resilience through economic recovery and renewed national pride. The year 2010 marked a fresh chapter in the life of the Roosevelt dime, and for collectors, it became a symbol of quiet excellence. Struck at the Denver Mint, each coin proudly carried the small but powerful D mint mark, a sign of American craftsmanship continuing to thrive even in modern times. Though the design remained unchanged since its debut in 1946, the 2010 D Roosevelt dime embodied the perfect harmony of tradition and technological progress. Modernized minting techniques brought sharper details and a mirror-like luster that made this small coin shimmer with pride. On the obverse, Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait retained its timeless dignity, a constant reminder of the leader who guided America through the Great Depression and World War II. His resolute expression, etched in fine detail, gave the coin a depth of character that continues to inspire collectors. The reverse side featured the enduring trio of symbols, the torch of liberty, the olive branch of peace, and the oak branch of strength. Together, they told a story of unity and perseverance, ideals that resonated just as strongly in 2010 as they did 6 decades earlier. While most Americans handled these dimes without a second thought, coin enthusiasts saw more, a chance to capture a flawless specimen of craftsmanship that would only grow rarer with time. Every shining 2010 D dime in uncirculated condition became a potential gem. The coin's composition, a copper core layered with nickel, reflected modern practicality, but it was its condition, strike quality, and luster that determined its fate in the numismatic world. Those who saved pristine rolls back in 2010 unknowingly stored future treasures. When preserved in untouched mint state, these coins reveal remarkable precision. The delicate folds of Roosevelt's collar, the crisp separation between letters, and the perfect torch lines all showcase the Denver Mint's mastery. Collectors soon realized that not all 2010 D dimes were created equal. Minor variations in die wear, pressure, or planchet quality led to striking differences, and those rare, fully struck examples began drawing serious attention. In the world of grading, perfection means everything. Coins rated MS-68 or higher are the crown jewels of the 2010 D issue, often commanding prices from $1,000 to $2,500, and occasionally more when eye appeal and tunning meet collector demand. Auction houses and online listings continue to prove that value can still hide in plain sight. Even now, a small roll of 2010 D dimes tucked away in a drawer might hold a coin that transforms from pocket change into a small fortune. Numismatists appreciate this issue not just for its quality, but for what it represents: the enduring strength of American minting and the continuation of Roosevelt's legacy through decades of change. Each 2010 D dime carries that spirit, silent, enduring and waiting to be rediscovered by someone with a keen eye and a sense of history. Over time, as circulation wears down most examples, high-grade survivors will only become scarcer. Those who invest in preservation today may well be holding tomorrow's prized collectibles. It's fascinating how the smallest coin can reflect such deep national identity. From Roosevelt's calm resolve to the torch that lights the path of liberty, the design has stood the test of time and continues to inspire new generations of collectors. The 2010 D dime, gleaming with fine luster and crisp edges, reminds us that value isn't measured by size. It's measured by rarity, beauty, and the story it carries. For coin enthusiasts, finding a top-graded 2010 D is a moment of triumph, proof that patience, passion, and attention to detail always pay off. Even in an era dominated by digital transactions, this little piece of metal remains a symbol of tangible value, something real, something lasting, something truly American. So when you see that small D mint mark beneath Roosevelt's neck, remember it's more than just a letter. It's the mark of Denver's excellence and perhaps the mark of your next big discovery.